Hi, so I'm with Lynn de Souza from Lintas Media in India. Welcome. Tomorrow you're going to be in an IPG seminar about women in advertising. So just explain to us, how did you come to be involved with this?
Well, actually, a couple of years ago, IPG asked me to start the Women's Leadership Network in India, which is part of the Diversity and Inclusion program. And initially, I didn't like the idea because I didn't believe that you need to do anything to separate the women from the men. But once I got into it and studied it a bit, I think I realized that it's not about giving any kind of preferential treatment to women. What it is about is getting women and men to work together by understanding each other's strengths and weaknesses so that you can work better together as a team. That was the basic thing. And we put the Women's Leadership Network together in India. We formed it a year and a half ago. We launched it officially. We got the buy-in of all the agency CEOs, Draft FCB, Low-End Partners, McCann, all of them are on our executive sponsors, and we do have activities. We've started in a small way, and I hope it will help. One of the key reasons for something like this, in India we don't call it the WLN, we call it equal and opposite. So I'm equal to you and yet I'm opposite to you, and that's what makes the magic. We both work together. And I think the challenge for us really is that as a percentage, women are 38% of our workforce in the IPG agencies in India. But when it comes to the leadership levels, that drops to 11%. So that is what we want to arrest. Okay. We want to bring in and keep women in the workplace, keep women productive.
Okay. So you've got the seminar tomorrow. Maybe just give us an idea of some of the key things that you want to talk about in this seminar.
Yeah, well, what we have been asked to do on the panel is respond to a research that is going to be revealed tomorrow. A very important piece of research done by Dr. Sylvia Hewlett, who works closely with IPG, and she's done a study for Harvard Business Review on executive careers and sponsorship, and the importance of women and men having a sponsor, not just a mentor, but a sponsor to grow. And what a sponsor does is actually enable somebody to take over from him or her. That is it. That is filled with pitfalls when it is a male-female equation. And it's automatic for a man to sponsor another man, or to groom another man, or to mentor another man. But the minute you have a gender difference, it could be male or female as the sponsor, then a whole lot of other problems arise. And those are the ones that need tackling. And that is what we're actually going to focus on tomorrow, because just because of gender and sex issues, you still cannot walk away from the fact that without proper grooming and sponsorship, you cannot get ahead. Okay. You have to find a way around that. That's what we're talking about in our session tomorrow.
Okay. Now, the whole issue of women in advertising has already been addressed here today in Cannes with the seminar about women and creativity, introduced by Michael Roth, and obviously Martha Stewart was one of the panelists. And one of the points that was brought up, it was that in terms of women being underrepresented in advertising, there's a glass ceiling. What do you feel about that? Do you think there's a glass ceiling in advertising?
There is a glass ceiling in your mind, if there is one. There is no glass ceiling otherwise.
Right.
And if you believe that there is no ceiling, there won't be. And if you believe that there is a ceiling, then you make that an excuse. And that's what we don't want the women to do. No woman, whether she's 2 years in the business or 20 years in the business, should even believe that such a thing exists, because that is the first drawback. And I don't think any woman who is successful will ever say that there is a ceiling.
Okay. And is it your experience in India and the region that women are underrepresented in advertising?
They are underrepresented in creative, for sure. There could be many more women in creative. In the media side of it, because media is in a sense less aggressive and in your face than creative, and there's a lot of analytics and women are good at that. There are more women. they are represented. But I would say in Asia, excluding India, so China and the Southeast Asian countries, women are doing very well. There are some agencies which have only women. In China in particular, because the workforce is being limited by the single child policy, they have to bring women to the fore. They have to fall on the girl at home. In India, it's still a bad situation for women. We still have a sex ratio that is in favor of men. Women are basically unequal. Either they are superior and worshipped as goddesses, or they are inferior. So we still have that problem, and we still have to overcome that.
Okay. One of the women on the panel this morning said that it is possible for a woman to have it all in terms of getting the family, the work-life balance, but you have to share with other people your workload, and you have to partner with other people in order to have it all. Do you think she's right? Is that your experience from your world in India?
Yes, she was completely right. In fact, one of the things that women do well is draw on resources. Women know how to bring out resources of other people because they tend to bring less ego to the table than the men, and they're willing to reach out for help because that's the way it's been in our DNA for thousands of years. So she was absolutely right. If you want to succeed, you have to be willing to reach out and ask for help from anybody. And that also enables the rest of the organization to want to come forward and help and grow together. So that's a good insight that she had, and I agree with it. Yes.
Lynn, thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
My
Thank you very
pleasure,
much.
my pleasure.